And we're back. I just had to make a couple of quick changes there, update the scoreboard, get things going. I told you they got the schedule tightly packed here at the Truro Saints Rugby Club. We are just underway. It's the U16 men's gold medal contest. The Newfoundland and Labrador Rock are wearing the maroon with white trim going left to right on your screen. The Keltics wearing the dark blue with white and blue hoops. Gold trim going right to left, and Newfoundland and Labrador looks like they've gotten a quick start here. They are in the end zone for the try.
Oh, shit.
We don't have the 5-second delay, Dave, on the live stream broadcast. Dave right now is shuffling papers, trying to find the roster sheet for Team New Brunswick, or excuse me, Team Nova Scotia. So now, a very quick start. One of the coaches for Newfoundland and Labrador reminding his charges it's 40 minutes, not 5 or not 3, 40 full minutes. That's just a reminder to, hey, good start, but you got to play the full 40. So again, we're just underway. So a really good start for the Rock. So a quick start here for Newfoundland and Labrador. The Rock trying to make it a sweep on the men's side of the U16 U18. The U18 Rock capturing gold earlier against the Keltics. Devin Burt just heads out of bound.
This is the one that I've got here. I know the number 9's right.
Just confirming our roster sheets here before we get going. Thanks to Dave Cotterill for sorting through those shuffling papers in a heavy wind. It's always fun trying to organize papers in a stiff breeze, isn't it, Dave?
Well, it could be raining, I guess.
That's right. Better dry and windy than soggy and windy. Here come the Keltics now.
Nova Scotia's got advantage being played to them here now. They've got a free one.
Couple of local Truro guys on this Keltics team. Liam Atwater, number 3, and Caleb Johnson, number 9. Caleb Johnson, certainly a key.
Yeah, and actually they just get called for a high tackle during that advantage there. They're going to get a chance to run it down here. So Caleb, yeah, as you said, one of our young players here in Truro, he runs that ball quick, gets slammed to the ground, but makes a few meters first. It was great play. A nice pick from the back of the ruck will make another 3 or 4 meters and try to eat up some defense. And they do draw an infraction there. It's going to be a penalty. Not sure what the penalty was for, but Nova Scotia will take advantage. They run quick.
That's on the sideline.
Yeah, that's an obstruction penalty. He ran behind his buddy there, blocked a tackler from making a play, so that's going to be a penalty against Nova Scotia. Newfoundland will run it quick.
Keep an eye on 15 in blue for the Celtics, Simon Scott. He's the captain of this team, and he had a really good game earlier.
Yeah, speedy player who's got a good head on his shoulders, makes good decisions.
Nova Scotia winning that game earlier today in dramatic fashion with a last-second try to advance to this gold medal game. It looked like the New Brunswick Spruce would be playing in this game, but Nova Scotia had a comeback to make, and they did it, and quite literally with only seconds left in the second half, they got the try that propelled them into this gold medal game against the Newfoundland and Labrador Rock. That's the other thing to mention is the Rock, first game of the day, so they're going to have more fresh legs. It's the second game for the Celtics, so fatigue may become a factor for the Celtics later on in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of energy gets expended during 40 minutes of rugby here. It's going to be tough, but at the same time, you can make the argument that it gives you a chance to get your legs under you, and you get a little game under your belt that makes you feel a little more stable, but certainly out of the two options, I think I'd rather be in Newfoundland shoes in this case.
That may come into play as well, the fatigue factor, that is, when it gets down to these scrums.
Yeah, absolutely. Newfoundland known for their Hard pressing scrums. Nice pick from the 8 there. Nice offload to their 15. He's going to get advantage on a high tackle, but they may not need it. He's breaking a tackle.
That's Alex Power with that nice run for the Rock.
Yeah, he did draw a high tackle penalty, and they are still playing the advantage right now. If they don't make any more meters, they'll bring it back.
Quick pickup there by Mitchell Hatcher. He got it going quickly for the Rock from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, certainly advantage will be over now. They've made great meters on this play.
They work it over to the wing. That's David Hillier.
I don't know if you can see the defense on Nova Scotia, but their backs are tremendously thin. They've only got 2 out there. If they can swing this, if Newfoundland swings this ball back back to the side of the field quickly, Nova Scotia's really got to respond quick.
Pushing forward with that ball, Kai Manuel. Rock down, threatening again. Now they'll work it to the other side.
They've got numbers.
Here
There's
they come down
overlap.
the wing.
Beautiful
They
play.
get in there, and that is Dylan Bromley, who gets the second Newfoundland and Labrador try. So 5 more for the Rock, and they extend the lead in this gold medal contest for the U16 men. But a great work by the Rock. Nice phase, working that ball down the line and finding that opening as Dylan Bromley dives across the goal line, touches it down for the try. And Newfoundland and Labrador, the Rock, the U16 men trying to do what the U18 men did earlier, and that's capture gold against Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Newfoundland did a great job using the whole field there. They pressed all the way to the west side of the field there and then moved it all the way back here towards us, towards the camera. And it drains the defense to keep trying to push on the other side of the ruck, and that's exactly what happened. It caused an overlap on the offense for the Newfoundland team, and they just spun it out there and popped that in the corner. It was a great play.
So a tricky angle on this conversion try for James Clark from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, he's also got the wind in his face. He's going to be aiming for that left post, see if he can push it through, but that's a difficult kick.
It's up. Will the wind push it through? And that is a quality strike of the ball. Given the angle, the distance, and the wind, that might be one of the best conversions that I've seen this weekend.
Certainly. He made that look easy, and you could see the ball hang up there. I mean, it looked like it was going through no problem as the strike hit. That wind just pushes it and holds it up there, and certainly makes for a difficult kick. That was a great strike.
That is a quality attempt right there by James Clark. That's one of those ones years from now when he's an old guy like me sitting around with his buddies having a few beverages, he'll go, I remember this conversion kick I made back in 2018.
Absolutely. And it should be said, for the players that are watching your teammate kick that kick, it's great to see the convert go through because you know that it's at least one full possession for the other team to come back for those 7 points. Now, if you score and you don't make the convert in a tie game, you know the other team can score and take the lead. So that 7 points, that extra 2 points makes a real big difference in the mindset of everybody watching on your team.
The Rock back on the attack once again. Applying pressure here to this Nova Scotia squad.
Yeah, they're not letting up there. They're going to keep trying to keep the pressure up and keep this bleeding going right now. But Nova Scotia's not showing any signs of letting up either on defense. They've won a knock on there, and they're going to get the ball in their hands now to try to run an offense.
So just a reminder, if you weren't with us moments ago, a little bit of schedule juggling going on. This game originally was scheduled to be on one of the other pitches here, but they moved it over to pitch 1 so that it could be live streamed for everybody to see. And there's some scheduling conflicts with some of the players on the PEI senior women's team. So this game, as mentioned, will be seen in its entirety here on the live stream. The senior women's gold medal game between PEI and Nova Scotia will start on another pitch, and then when this game concludes, they will switch that game, and the second half of the senior women will be right here on pitch 1. So lots more rugby left to come. And again, this Championship Sunday turning out to be every bit as advertised. It has been an exciting and thrilling day of rugby here from the Truro Saints Rugby Club. I'm Scott Squires. Dave Cotterill is my broadcast partner. Brian Fisher up top on the scaffolding doing the camera work. As we see this scrum on the far side, Caleb Johnson will put it in for Nova Scotia on the scrum. Big thank you to our sponsors as well. And
Newfoundland managed to steal that ball in that scrum. It looked like a pop straight back out.
Another quick run, and they in at the corner
fast
for the try. I believe that was Mitchell Hatcher. Try to think it was number 9 in maroon who made that run.
Yeah, that ball popped straight at the scrum, and I think the scrum half picked it up. Yeah, Mitchell, and he was 0 to full speed in like a stride. I mean, that's hard to accomplish. He just made them pay on that quick.
It's like when you ring the bell last day of school, how fast you want to get out the doors.
Absolutely.
He was just gone.
He was gone.
So a great run there by Mitchell Hatcher. Stamps it into the end zone. Nova Scotia, the Celtics, you see him right there. I think their coach has brought them over and is having a little meeting with them just to kind of regroup them and say, okay, guys, like the Rock have come at us here. That's okay. This is still just the first half. We got to play a full game here. Another tricky conversion, this time from the other side of the field. Plenty of league. No, tell me, did he?
Just
Could
a
he?
little bit right, I think.
Well, it was close.
Just short and right. Beautiful strike again, yeah. Yeah, like you said, you don't want to see these games get away from you early in the half. So if you can just hold on, Nova Scotia will certainly have a large wind at their backs in the second half. So it's hard to forget that. You want to make it through that first half. It's a bit of an uphill battle, and if you can stem the bleeding, that wind will really help you keep field possession in the second. So I'm sure that's what the coach is trying to make sure that they don't panic and that they play good defense throughout the rest of this half.
So Nova Scotia has to kick off to the Rock. Quick offload there from James Clark.
Yeah, it was a deep kick and stayed in midfield. Not generally where you like that ball to stay. I think it was a bit of a missed strike, and he probably knows it. Newfoundland able to make a pretty good run on that return.
Rock in control again.
Really nice tackle from Nova Scotia to hit them behind the gain line.
Here they come with it now. Working up over midfield into the Nova Scotia side of the pitch.
Nice run, great post from the ball carrier there to make sure that they keep good ball.
Here's another run now, trying to find somebody open down that wing side. Cutting back toward the middle. Celtics try to cover up defensively.
Yeah. Newfoundland is going side to side. You know, they're heading towards the west side of the field again now. Nova Scotia's running out of defenders.
David Hillier with the run gets taken down.
You can see already the fullback on Newfoundland's side is almost calling for the ball here on the east side of the field. He wants to see it come back, but Newfoundland is able to push it right into the west.
And that was Kai Manuel.
Great play. There was advantage already being played to Newfoundland on that play from a penalty, so they are not letting up. I mean, they're keeping hard, constant pressure on there and able to push that one in the left side of the field.
Yeah, that's another try for Newfoundland and Labrador. And I've made the comment this weekend about the Nova Scotia Celtic senior women that they have so many weapons up and down the lineup. It's hard to key on one or two players. This Newfoundland Rock U16 men's team, same thing. Any number of players up and down this lineup have the ability to burn you offensively and to do something to put that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not always the players that make you all the meters on the field. Sometimes it makes a player look great when they can break the line many times, but it's often the players making the short, hard runs that draw in defenders. If you can draw 2 or 3 defenders in to tackle you, it opens up opportunities on the outside for your supporting players. So really good play by inside players and up and down the line, as you say there. Yeah, there's been great talent all throughout the field here.
Well, another tricky conversion attempt. Although what we've seen, I don't think this is going to phase James Clark at all. He's been good so far. Let's see if he can work with that wind again. Plenty of height, plenty of distance.
Looks pretty good.
And he gets it through. My goodness. James Clark, a conversion specialist here today for the Newfoundland and Labrador side.
You can hear the fans too. Everybody loves when a great kicker can make those. I mean, when you make it from the touchlines, I mean, they make it look easy on TV when you're watching the international guys, but down here, I mean, there's a strong wind. It's the same size field. This is a kid that's, you know, making no trouble with these kicks at all. I mean, that's a difficult skill to obtain.
Well, that is, and the thing is that kick, the height and the distance it had, he probably could have been another 5 or 6 meters back, and he still would have made it.
Oh, absolutely. The kickers in today's international games, you'll see them kick converts or penalty kicks from almost 40, 50 meters out, almost at the halfway line. So players that can get that skill, I mean, there's a market for that, and it's a great way to get your team on the board.
Well, James Clark putting on an exhibition here of conversion kicking. You could do a highlight pack of just his conversion kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Line out here. John Drake will throw it in. Looks like the Rock.
Looks like they'll lift here in the front, unless they got some funny plan. But nope, in the front. Newfoundland does win it. Good ball.
Rock now will set that ball in motion one more time.
Nice strip from Nova Scotia. Newfoundland will keep it though.
Down they come. Rock in control.
So as Newfoundland's been doing, they're pushing all the way to that west side of the field. And now they've got advantage towards them. You can see them, they're getting ready to push this ball all the way back here towards the camera now, because they're going to try to catch Nova Scotia missing players. There it is.
Here we go again into the open field. Alex Power
fast,
trying to catch him. Power, slippery as an eel, slithery as a snake, and fast as lightning into the end zone. Brings it over, puts it in good position for the conversion. My, oh my, oh my. Speed all day. Alex Power with another try for the Rock.
Yeah, that's a great example of good team play and great individual play. Just like we said there, that ball got pushed all the way to one side of the field. They ate up a lot of the Nova Scotia defense, gave an opportunity to him, and then he just made something happen that might not have been there for every other player. He made just a terrific run to put that in. As
we see this kick being lined up, one of the very big and powerful players on this Newfoundland and Labrador U16 men's team, number 3, Big Jack Furno. The rumbling one, the movable brick wall, I like to call him. I want to give a big shout out as we see that conversion go through. I want to give a shout out to Jack's sister Holly, watching from Memphis down in Tennessee. Don't know how big rugby is in Memphis, but I'm sure Holly's glad to be watching. Also to grandmom Sandra Furno, watching from Newfoundland and Labrador, and his dad John Furno. And the note says that Mama Bear, can never forget Mom, is actually here cheering on Big Jack in person. So there you go. The shout-out list is complete. And right now, this half is almost complete. And what a half it's been for the young men from Newfoundland and Labrador, the Rock. They have been like a rock here and have kind of been rolling over the Keltics in this first half. The Keltics are trying hard, but I don't think right now that they know what to do with this very deep and speedy side from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to get out of the half without any more points being scored. Now, that was a good kickoff by Nova Scotia. Newfoundland will get the line out, but that's anytime you can put a kick downfield and put it in a touch on a line out or on a kickoff, you're feeling pretty good. It gives you a chance to slow things down and maybe steal one in the ball here. Newfoundland's been throwing to the front. Nova Scotia may try to contest here in the front as well and try to steal this.
John Drake to throw in.
He's up, but Newfoundland does manage to keep it.
Down to ground. It was Tyler Coates, I believe. It was Coates on the ground, but again, the Rock move it to the other side. So quick. And you mentioned it earlier, they're just so able to move that ball one wing to the other, east to west, west back to east.
Yeah, it's that textbook play that you want from a rugby team, and they're able to do it almost every time. I mean, it just wears out your defense so much, and if Nova Scotia can't shut them down earlier going to the second half, it's going to just take your legs out from under you. It's so much energy to get back and forth when they're able to do that.
Well, the challenge that's before the Keltics right now is stop the Rock from scoring anymore and score at least 31. That comes to a conclusion the first half. And again, what a half it was for the Newfoundland Rock. The U16 men hang 31 points on the board. And as we go to break at the half, that is your score. Newfoundland and Labrador, 31, the Rock, leading the Keltics from Nova Scotia. It's the gold medal final, and we'll be back with the second half in just a little bit.
The 2018 Atlantic Canadian Rugby Championships are proudly brought to you by Subway. Make it what you want. Wilson's Propane. It's for more than just barbecues. Tro Nissan. Innovation that excites. Events and conference services at Dalhousie Agricultural Campus, offering year-round one-stop shop services. And by Firm Foundation Media. Your content built on a firm foundation.
Solid.
Here we go, second half underway of this men's U16 gold medal final. The Keltics need something to happen good, positive, and quick.
So that's Riley McGinnis right there. That's a hometown boy here from Truro. Actually, his father played with me for years on the Truro Saints, Ray. Just coming out and making a great statement in the first minute of play there.
Keltics. See that ball turn back over to the Rock. It's a comfortable lead right now for the lads from Newfoundland and Labrador, 31-0. But the Keltics, if they can get something going here early, they got something to build on perhaps as this ball comes over towards us and goes out for touch.
Nice exit
to our
kick,
right.
but there was advantage being played for a high tackle there, so Newfoundland's going to get a chance to kick touch again here. Make some meters and take their own line out. I like to think myself not too old, but it's funny. I remember bumping into Riley when he was in his car seat at the old clubhouse there at the tack ground. So it's great to see him playing here, and just a great run there to start that half out. He just might have energized that Nova Scotia side well.
Doesn't that freak you out just a little bit when you see kids like that where you remember being little babies and then all of a sudden they're young men?
It's a funny thing, yeah. I mean, being the son of a player as well, yeah, you're around the culture your whole life. There's Newfoundland making a great run. Looks like they're going to bring it back, though. Oh, there's a fight breaking out here on this side of the field.
Well, we definitely don't want that. There's been all kinds of good camaraderie and sportsmanship all week long, and a good job by both teams to kind of get in there and separate what was going on and to get some separation between the two sides and the two combatants in that particular situation. And I'm sure that the officials now will come over and discuss that. Again, that's not a way that you want to kind of finish out here.
Not especially when it's a player you've been talking about the first half of the second half. That's Riley McGinnis there was the one that was involved in that. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He's kind of holding his head as if he got struck, but the referees are going to try to figure out what happened here. I wouldn't be surprised if a card came out here maybe on either side of the field. Or they may just call them in and try to calm things down before it gets out of hand.
Got another shout out here. Lorena Rockwood on Twitter giving a shout out to Josh Rockwood. Josh wearing number 4 in maroon today for the Newfoundland and Labrador Rock. Mom and Dad watching from home, as well as Steven. So, hello, Rockwood family. Glad to have you on board watching this game. And right now, you guys must be feeling pretty good about the way things are going here for the U16 Rock.
You can see the referee's not going to have any part of this. He's going to make sure he shuts down any kind of this kind of behavior before it starts. He's probably going to knock a couple of these players off for a few minutes, probably with yellows. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he's, as my mom would have said back when I was a kid, reading them the riot act.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Setting them straight, giving them what for.
Now, sometimes, even if it's punishable by a yellow card or not, they may just go ahead and do it. Wow. He's gone straight to red. Basically, he's saying there were punches thrown. This is a friendly atmosphere. He's having no part of it, and he's going to make sure there's no more of that kind of behavior through the rest of the game by taking care of it now. Aggressive by the referee, but he needs to do it or the game gets away from you. And he did a great job just to make sure that this doesn't happen. You can see those players now as they're walking off the field. They seem to be still kind of jawing at each other a little bit. But
yeah, that they've got to get in there and separate these two players right away, not let the emotions get the better of them.
Yeah, absolutely. At this kind of age, you're pretty you're fired up. You're playing a big contact sport in front of a lot of people. It's hard not to get inside your head. But as you grow old, you do learn that rugby is a gentleman's game played by hooligans, or a hooligan's game played by gentlemen, rather. I guess.
The interesting thing is, the Newfoundland and Labrador game sheet, the player involved in that fracas with Riley McInnes is number 8, and that is the one player that I don't have listed here on the Newfoundland and Labrador game sheet. So I can't give any indication as to who number 8 is. Maybe if somebody's watching the game and got a good look at number 8 on the Newfoundland U16 Rock and send us out a tweet. But a straight red card, so that basically they're done for the day.
They're done. Yeah, no, that happened earlier in the weekend. They would have been done for the whole weekend. So I guess you know, you can make the argument that it was good for them to wait until now. But certainly, you know, it's hard to keep your emotions in check sometimes. And the smallest thing can set you off. If you don't regain your composure in the first few seconds, it's pretty easy for that kind of thing to happen sometimes. Now, at this level where you have qualified touch judges and assistant referees on the touch lines, these things get caught all the time. So in games that used to, you know, the referee would just try to calm things down. Here they can pick people out who did the infractions, and they did just that and made sure that this isn't going to happen again.
Well, let's hope that cooler heads prevail right across both of these sides, as this has been an excellent weekend of fellowship, camaraderie, and sportsmanship.
Nice tackle there, caused a knock on. Nova Scotia's going to get a chance here to run an offense with no penalty here as they'll get the scrum here. Now, I mean, you never want to see that kind of thing on the field. At the same time, sometimes it's kind of like hockey. Sometimes you need a spark, and if that gets it done, it's unfortunate. Both teams are going to have to finish with 14 players, and it changes how you play the game because now you're going to your back three, your wings, and your fullback are going to have to adjust, missing a player. But you know, whether Nova Scotia bounces back from losing that player or not, I mean, it was a good job to take out, I guess, the opposing starting 8, but not the way you want to see it done.
So it'll be interesting to see what transpires here through the remainder of this one. The lead still stands 31-0. No points scored yet in this second half, which from the Celtic standpoint, that's good news because you've now shut down that offensive push that the Rock had going.
Absolutely, and like we said in the first half too, you do have that wind. If you get a chance and you see those the flags on the touch line, they constantly give you feedback of where the wind is going, and it's right at Nova Scotia's back right now. And whether you choose to kick the ball or not and use the wind that way, it's difficult to run into the wind. It just slows you down a bit, a half step, and it can make quite a difference. So Nova Scotia is going to be feeding off that that push from the back as well.
So out of this scrum,
a nice steal from Newfoundland there. They're going to get a chance to run a counterattack.
And counterattack they do.
He threw that forward. It's going to be advantage. Yeah, that's going to be a whistle for a thrown forward pass by Newfoundland. It'll be Nova Scotia's scrum. Newfoundland thinks it's a penalty against them and they're retreating, but they'll find out here in a second that it's going to be a scrum.
So the wind.
Here comes some fresh legs now for Nova Scotia as well.
Yeah, a couple of players checking in.
Looks like 3 players checking in,
So some new personnel out there for the Celtics. The wind is back to the typical level that you expect out here at the Truro Saints Rugby Club. Pretty calm for most of the day, and not that it's too heavy today, but certainly the strongest that we've had from a wind perspective so far in today's matches. Just a reminder, we'll have the second half of the Senior Women's Championship game at the conclusion of this one. The Senior Women have started over on pitch 2, and they'll be moving over here for the second half.
That's a penalty against Newfoundland there. Nova Scotia will get a chance to run this. They're going to go quick with it. The fullback.
And they do take it quickly. Down to ground it goes. Quickly back up for the Celtics.
Now Newfoundland's defense is just coming up very aggressively and hard. It's making it hard for Nova Scotia to get anything going. Now Nova Scotia's got a free one. They've got advantage being played to them. They're going to try to beat them on the outside. It's knocked on, but the long whistle shows a penalty. Newfoundland's going to have to move back 10 meters again. They may go quick, but the ball's away. They should probably slow things down. They've got the wind at their back. Figure out a play and put something coordinated together here and try to make some meters.
Simon Scott will start it off.
Yeah, he's going to use this wind and try to make some meters and give them a good position for a line out. Nope, he's faked it. Gone quick.
Celtics now bring it over toward this near side.
It's a great tackle from Newfoundland there. Almost stole that ball.
Yeah, their defense has been very aggressive, and there's big Jack Furno plowing through the pile.
Fantastic ruck. Counter ruck, and Newfoundland stolen that ball. Not easy to do. Yeah, as you say, Jack just made that happen.
He might. Speed now.
Wow.
Getting tackled on the sideline was Isaac Arsenault there. Good tackle made by the Celtics player.
Absolutely.
Simon Scott was in there helping out.
Great play by Jack to set that run up for his winger there. That guy was just flying 100 miles an hour, and that was a great play by the fullback from Nova Scotia to finish that tackle and take on the ground. He saved a try.
Line out for Nova Scotia. McLean Tobin will throw it in for the Celtics.
Now, no matter the score going into the second half, you'd like to try to win the half. So, as you said, from the beginning here now, it's 0-0 going into the second half. Nova Scotia can put some points on the board. They're going to be real happy with the performance here. It's going to be hard to claw back 31, but, you know, all it takes is a try or two to put you right back in it.
Nova Scotia definitely has to feel better about the performance that they've had here in this second half. Pretty much played the rock even up.
Now, because of the red cards earlier, Newfoundland is playing here without an 8-man. So it's going to be a little more tricky to take the ball out of the scrum because you don't have the protection of the 8-man there. There, the ball's out quickly. Nine's going to have to play it himself.
Couple of quick offloads. Hatcher to Clark. They work it down the line. Ball came loose, still up in the air. Who's got it?
Yeah, Newfoundland manages to hold on to it. They're
somehow
shifty too.
Yeah, Hatcher came down with that there for about 5 seconds. It seemed that nobody could get a handle on that ball.
It was initially knocked on by Nova Scotia. It's going to be a Newfoundland scrum here. They're looking dangerous too. You know, it could go either way in this half. I mean, this has been a, you know, you'd like to see the first half the same as this one because this is a very evenly tight match game right now.
Well, it's interesting. We've seen it a couple of times here where, you know, you see one half and you're thinking, oh, well, it's going to go this way, and then the second half comes and it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
You know, certainly this 31-0 score, that's the score at the end of the first half. We, as you said, we are 0-0 here as we play well into the second half.
Absolutely, and you like to think that usually if that's the case, that has something to do with fitness. But at this level, both teams are very fit. Newfoundland just came out hard. I can't imagine it's all the wind, but the wind is certainly playing a big part of it.
Trying to get a ruck going on the ground. Newfoundland picks it up. They'll move it down the line. Now there's one spin.
Nice quick hands.
Into the corner. Here's a run now for Arsenault. He had a chance a moment ago. Arsenault runs it over. He'll settle it down in the middle. And Isaac Arsenault breaks the goose egg in the second half anyway, as he puts some more points up on the board for Newfoundland and Labrador. That's the Rock now hitting 36. And it's just that speed, whether it's to the left, whether it's to the right. They've got all kinds of speed on their wings. Arsenault had a big run a few minutes ago and another one there as he just broke away down the touchline on the left side. And nobody could catch him, and it's another 5 for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Now, certainly Arsenault there, he's electric. I mean, he is getting to full speed just quick. I mean, that takes me 5 to 10 strides to get to my full speed, and that's not anything close to what his full speed was. So to have acceleration and speed like that, he's dangerous anytime the ball's in his hands.
I don't think I have a full speed.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how many strides it would take me. I try not to get to strides to full speed. I'm more of a meanderer. James Clark has been pretty much money on these conversion attempts.
I think he's a little left there.
And, well, you know, usually when the broadcaster compliments the player, it's when they usually...
Always, right.
Well, listen, can't be as bad as you, Jinx, and Riley, you were talking
Yeah,
about
that's
Riley
true.
McInnes. The
That's
next thing
true.
he gets red carded.
Oh, he's getting he's getting an award at the end of the year for being terrible. That was terrible. Wow.
You can send your comments and letters to Dave Cotterill,
That's
chair
right.
of the Trail Saints Rugby Club.
I'll own them.
But we had actually earlier, we had a situation in a women's game, Newfoundland and Labrador and the Nova Scotia Celtics women,
Right.
where somebody tweeted out a shout out to a Newfoundland player, and within seconds of me saying it on the air, she scored a try.
Oh, wow.
A few minutes later, it was New Brunswick, I believe. Anyway, a few minutes later, the player on the opposing team got a shout out on Twitter. I read it on the air, and within seconds they scored a try.
All right.
And I was thinking I was going to have all these family and friends sending out all these tweets, trying to see if they could have it work out that they would have their friend, family, or otherwise score the try.
Well, yeah, I love to see my Truro players out there, but Riley, I kicked you once in a car seat. I'll kick you again in there.
Poor
Smart
poor
man.
Riley, goodness.
Holy smokes.
Well, you can tell we've seen this before when teams have a lead late in a game. They're not in a rush. The Newfoundland and Labrador side, I said meandering earlier, they could all meander with me.
Absolutely.
They were just taking their time getting up to midfield here for this scrum. James Noftel. That's a good Newfoundland name, Noftel. He puts it into the scrum.
That ball's
do it
straight
again.
out. They'll do it again, yeah.
Many's a summer I spent back home in Newfoundland and Labrador when I was a kid after I moved to Nova Scotia. Used to spend almost my entire summers up there. And while I think of it, speaking of, when I used to go up to Newfoundland and Labrador, I always spent my time down at my aunt and uncle's house, my dad's brother and his wife, and it's my Aunt Daphne's 87th birthday today. So happy birthday, Aunt Daphne. You were like my second mom when I used to travel up to Newfoundland in my holidays. So I love you lots, and happy birthday, Aunt Daphne.
It's got to be the healthy diet of salt cod, probably.
It's that fresh Newfoundland air coming right off the water.
That's right. Here we go.
Nova Scotia now trying to make something happen. This is a pretty good run, picking up a few meters there as they charge ahead. I think that was Sam Whidden.
Oh, hands in the ruck. You can see it from here. He's called that too. 21's getting greedy. He's trying to steal that ball back in the ruck, but yeah, the officiator right in the right place to make that call.
Off to the other side now. This is the captain, Scott, trying to make a move. Simon Scott over there. He wants to try to put his teammates on his back and lift them up to something positive.
Right, now he's drawn a penalty. There's an advantage being played to Nova Scotia right now. If they don't make any meters, they'll get a play. They're going to try to run some beautiful tackle from Newfoundland.
Whidden get taken down.
There's the call for the advantage. It is a penalty to Nova Scotia. High tackle, it looks like the motion from the referee there. Nova Scotia, not sure how much time is left. They may have a chance to kick touch here and take a line out, or they may just run it themselves. They're going to run it.
Here they come. You know they want to get into the end zone and get some points here.
And they're close. They've got momentum on their side right now. You don't want to panic. You want to make sure you keep the ball in hand. Here's a chance. He's in.
Go.
He's in.
Cross the goal line, and there it is, the Celtics.
Nice hard run.
I believe it was Connor Burns. I think that's an 8 on the back of that jersey.
He certainly looks like an 8, and he ran like one, too. It was a beautiful run.
So Connor Burns gets the Celtics on the board, and that will make them feel much better about things. Not all the way better, but again, just to see that 0 off the scoreboard, see points up there. And the other thing is, again, with that try, that evens up the score.
Absolutely.
In this half, 5 apiece.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's small consolation, I guess, as we see that push through. But again, you know.
Absolutely. No, when you're on there, whether you're in the lead or losing at halftime, you go into you always, I think every rugby player tries to tell each other that you're going into the second half 0-0, and they're playing like it. it's hard not to let the score get on the back of your mind when you go back out there. But they've done a great job to keep the pressure up, and that was punctuated by a nice try there.
So in terms of scoring by half, 31-0 for the Rock in the first half, 7-5 for the Celtics here in the second half. And again, in the grand scheme of things, small consolation for the Celtics, but something to look at, something to build on, and something to say, okay, we showed that we can play with this side.
Absolutely, and sometimes you just need to push one in to show yourself and show your teammates that they're not unbeatable. Their defense can be beat. That ball didn't go 10. That's going to be a free kick at center, I believe, for Nova Scotia. He's going to confer with the touch judge to make sure, but it looks like he's going to give the option. Free kick or a scrum at center. Or they could choose to take a line out, and that's what they'll do here. They took a line out at half. Wind is coming straight at their face, which is generally better than if it was going north-south at this case. This will hold your ball in the air, but it'll keep it fairly straight. That's usually the trouble down here in Truro. The ball gets pushed on your line out, and you get called for a not straight throw. A nice lift, he needs the ball in. Now they get a good job there to hold on to the ball.
Nice spin on that pass by Cal Maxner for the Celtics.
Absolutely. That's a penalty. That ball wasn't out yet, and 26 for Newfoundland came around the side and made that hit. That was illegal. They're going to go quick. Newfoundland is back 10, so this will be good.
Furno takes his man down.
Nice tackle now. Nova Scotia is getting advantage played towards them. I'm not sure. I have to assume it's for a penalty, not for a knock-on or any kind of minor infraction. So they're playing advantage right now regardless. They're making good meters.
Yeah, they continue to really dig in here. Now they're going to try to take it out wide. Little stiff arm there.
If they can pop another one on the board right now, and he's in.
Whidden, look at him go. Sam Whidden.
Right down between the posts. Now see if they kick this convert. That'll be 14 points. Now 31 might still be hard to get into, or 36, sorry. But to show that you can score 14 that quickly, it really fires your team up. You can imagine that they want to get back to center and get this ball kicked off again and keep the attack going.
Listen, the Celtics showing their mettle here. Good for them for digging down deep and coming out in this second half and putting points on the board. That is indeed 12 points for them now, and because of the good job by Sam Whidden to place that ball when he touched down for the try toward the middle of the uprights, this should be a, well, nothing is easy, but
yeah,
in terms of placement with the wind at your back, this is as good as you can get for a conversion try.
That's true, yeah. He gave him a good favor by putting this right. He put it on the left post, and now the wind is actually almost going straight towards that the right post for him. So this is going to push it straight through. A nice strike, and it's through. It's good.
So 36-14. I'm not sure how much time is left, but good on the Celtics for coming out here and outscoring the Rock 14-5 in this second half, making it a 36-14 game now in this gold medal final.
And on a defense, it's the hardest position to be when the opposition has scored a couple on you. You've got to try to reset your feet, dig in, and hold the defense. Sometimes it's a big tackle, a turnover, an interception, something, but you need something to happen to get that, the motivation away from the attacking team right now, which right now is Nova Scotia. They've done great to keep this pressure up. A nice kick by Newfoundland. They're going to get a chance to put a big hit on here. Actually, Nova Scotia won't even play the ball. And that's Arsenault again.
Look at him go.
Wow.
Isaac Arsenault with the very quick reply. A matter of fact, about 15 seconds of game time after the Sam Whidden try for the Celtics. Arsenault with his second of the half.
Oh, wow.
Tags on 5 more for the Rock.
So that was a beautiful kickoff by Newfoundland, and just like we were saying, you need something to happen. They put that ball just at the 10-meter mark, just as far as it needed to go to be legal. And Nova Scotia, whether there was a miscommunication or what, they let that ball hit the ground. And I imagine the team might get an extra sprint at next week's practice because that happened. A general rule of thumb is you don't let a kickoff hit the ground. And Arsenault made them punish. I mean, it was a beautiful backspin. It bounced right into his hands, and he was already going full speed when that ball popped into his hands, and he was just gone before Nova Scotia could even react.
So James Clark This would be quite something should he make this one. It's from distance, from angle, and a stiff breeze.
For pride, he's got it.
Oh, my! Bounces off the crossbar and through. I guess you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And that is the final play of the game. Congratulations to your 2018 Atlantic Canadian Rugby U16 men's champions, the Newfoundland and Labrador Rock. And there they are. They are rocking the celebration. Congratulations to the lads from Newfoundland and Labrador. 43-14 is your final.
You almost wonder if he called that kick at the last one there, like, let's put this one off the crossbar.
And this is what's nice to see. First of all,
yeah,
congratulations on the silver medal to the Nova Scotia Keltics. They played a whale of a game. They were excellent, certainly in that second half. Tough to play 2 games. They had a dramatic game early this morning, had to get it on a last-second try just to get to this gold medal game. But they did a hip, hip, hooray. Cheer for the Rock at the end of the game, and shows the true sportsmanship between these two teams, and you see them shaking hands. So again, congratulations to both sides. Silver medal for the Nova Scotia U16 men's Keltics, but it's the Rock from Newfoundland and Labrador that make it a clean sweep on the men's side. The U18 men earlier with the gold, and now it's the U16 men. So double gold for Newfoundland and Labrador men's Rock teams here at the 2018 Atlantic Canadian Rugby Championship. Well done to both teams, and again, congratulations to the champs, the gold medalists from Newfoundland and Labrador. We're going to step aside here, take a break. Currently, the women's senior gold medal game between PEI and Nova Scotia taking place on pitch 2. We're going to step aside. The stream will stay live. We will be back with the second half of the women's game. I can't tell you exactly when, but just keep checking back, keep clicking on that live stream link, and you'll be able to watch the second half of that very exciting women's senior final. And there you see the arch of victory being put there as the Newfoundland team celebrating on the sideline. So on behalf of Dave Cotterill, Brian Fisher, and our broadcast team, I'm Scott Squires, and there's a look at the Keltics. Congratulations again, a great tournament for them. The gold medal final in the books for the U16 men. By a score of 43-14, Newfoundland and Labrador capture gold. We'll step aside, take a break. Second half of the women's senior final just around the corner. You're watching the 2018 Atlantic Canadian Rugby Championships live from Truro Saints Rugby in Truro, Nova Scotia. We'll be back in just a little bit.